You will be shocked by what happened in St. George's Chapel this Easter, and it wasn't what you thought. Prince Louis's cheeky smile and energetic antics did not steal the show for once. A big change was occurring, and everyone saw it right away. You'll understand why this seemingly minor adjustment has the internet in awe, and why it portends a change that no one could have predicted after viewing this video. If you appreciate learning about amazing events and royal secrets, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and activate notifications before we begin. You won't want to miss what's going to take place. It was a beautiful springtime morning. Above St. George's Chapel, the gentle golden light of the sun lit centuries of regal ancestry. Crowds gathered along the route, cameras poised and phones raised, all searching for that familiar evil smile. But this Easter was different. As Prince Louis and his family arrived hand in hand, a slight tremor ran through the throng. There was a problem. People weren't ready for it. Louis, usually the pinnacle of flamboyant energy, looked composed, poised, and even serious in his dark blue double-breasted suit and perfectly matched light blue tie. There was nothing like the young prince's Easter appearance. Standing with Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and his siblings, Louis felt more confident than ever. His posture was straight, his expressions were measured, and his gaze was discreetly perceptive. The mischievous actions and dramatic facial expressions that used to draw photographers' attention have disappeared. They were replaced by a young man going into a bigger, older setting. Let's talk about the details that made this Easter so exceptional. At first glance, it might have looked small. A suit, a tie, and neatly combed hair. But in royal tradition, even subtle hints have significant significance. One feature caught the attention of royal observers in particular: his pants. Young boys in the royal family have a long-standing British custom of dressing in shorts for formal events. But this time, Louis wore full-length pants. It may not seem like much to the normal individual, but it is significant in the context of monarchy. A transition from childhood to adulthood. When combined with the double-breasted suit, his ensemble was more than merely stylish. It was symbolic. It whispered a message to the entire world: Prince Louis is growing up. And social media went bananas as soon as images surfaced. Comments poured in: he looks like a young man, time is flying by. George and Louis are maturing so rapidly. That suit is perfect, so mature for his age. On the internet, everyone was in agreement. There was more to this than just fashion. It was a proclamation. This scenario was compelling for reasons other than Louis's clothing. It was the feelings reverberation. Over the years, his cute tiny actions, impetuous facial expressions, and cheeky manner had won him admirers. But when he was cool, composed, and observant, a different kind of relationship was formed. Imagine seeing a child you've been watching for years come to a tranquil, dignified condition. This is the reality of growth, which is shocking, amazing, and a little nostalgic. The playful antics that used to define him now coexist with maturity. Despite being a minor alteration, it has a significant impact. Even for the family, this was a momentous occasion. When Prince William, the Princess of Wales, and Catherine recognized their youngest was evolving and starting the next stage of his life, they most likely exchanged glances. As Louis walked into the chapel, social media went crazy. Both casual bystanders and royal enthusiasts noticed every detail, including the calm stance, the confident gait, the well-tailored suit, and the full-length pants. People could see how quickly all the children were growing, with Prince George nearly reaching his mother's height and Louis trailing closely behind. Comments highlighted the sophistication of his style, the meaning of his attire, and the subtle yet evident pride he radiated. It wasn't a series of playful antics. The demonstration of growth, intellect, and quiet confidence captivated the audience. Every component, from the pants to the tie, told a story. In the creation of the double-breasted suit, which is usually associated with sophistication and adult style, Louis was portrayed as a young gentleman. The full-length pants suggested a subtle rite of passage, a transition from childhood to something more mature. It's incredible how powerful signals can be conveyed through tiny cues. For royal spectators, These moments are almost like a secret language that conveys growth, responsibility, and changing identity without the use of words. If you're enjoying this royal discovery and would want to see more shocking, heart-stopping disclosures from the world of royalty, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell button to be the first to see our next royal breakdown. It will be even more amazing than this one. Think back to previous Easter services. Louis would often run, gesture, and make facial expressions to draw attention away from the more formal events. It was one of his charms. Everyone loved it. But this Easter is very different. There was more to Louis's calm demeanor than just his uniqueness. It highlighted his development. His energy was more refined, yet it was still there. His expressions were reserved, and his actions were deliberate. In a nutshell, everyone's favorite young child had become a miniature gentleman in front of the camera, and the response was genuine. A few spectators admitted to feeling nostalgic. It appears that he was simply wearing shorts yesterday. Time is flying by. Children grow up so fast. He was so composed and elegant that I almost burst into tears. Such strong emotions are rarely evoked by simple clothing and posture, but Prince Louis did it effortlessly. Rather than his antics, his presence kind of stole the show. Why is this significant? Because it acts as a reminder of the passage of time. Customs evolve, kids mature, and even seemingly unimportant things, like a suit pick, can signal important life shifts. This incident delivered a subtle but powerful statement about adulthood, identity, and the certainty of change. Louis's entrance showed the world that extravagant gestures are not always necessary for development. It can occasionally be seen in a child's subtlety, quiet manner, and freshly found dignity. At the conclusion of the service, one thing was clear: Prince Louis had gained popularity in a completely other way. The active child who had formerly delighted everyone was evolving. This specific moment will always be remembered, even though the antics may occur again in the future. A picture of a young monarch quietly and strongly transitioning into the next stage of his life. It's a story of growth, grace, and unquestionable, yet subtle influence. And even though this little king never ceases to amaze and inspire, it's exactly the kind of story that keeps everyone's eyes, hearts, and attention on him. So the next time you see a young royal at a formal event, keep an eye out. Grandiose gestures and playful activities don't necessarily produce the biggest surprises. They are the outcome of a delicate transformation. And Prince Louis just showed the world how to mature in a way that is graceful, exquisite, and absolutely unforgettable. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Watch this space for more breathtaking events and royal secrets.